Hey guys, welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 video. We have more and more leaks today, guys. What I tell you, we're going to have videos all week long about these leaks, probably going into next week as well. So many leaks for Modern Warfare 2. There's been a lot. There's been talk about leaked gameplay, which has been shown around, which we'll be talking about in this video, as well as a bunch of other stuff, as well as the trailer for the Godzilla Warzone event, Operation Monarch. That was finally released today, and that'll be happening tomorrow, May 11th, so that'll be really exciting, so make sure you guys go and check that out on the channel. But before we talk about this leaked gameplay, let's talk about some other leaks that are happening. So this is all stuff coming from a Q&A from Ralph over on Twitter. So let's start with this first question somebody asked him. He says, how far are they in development? Are we in a good spot? And he replied, the fans are in a good spot. The developers, however, aren't. I've had several associates approach me, and they've all collectively expressed how severe crunch is at the moment. As of January 2022, Infinity Ward has experienced a loss of crucial talent, the largest since 2010. He says it's the shift they weren't anticipating under the constraints of typical Call of Duty development schedules. To produce a game like Modern Warfare 2 has cost them. Several employees in directional and lead positions have since recently left the studio for teams like Striking Distance. This shouldn't come as trouble. Turnovers at Infinity Ward are considered quote-unquote normal. Okay. Next question. Considering the state of the game, also any word on how the campaign is shaping up to be? He says, last I heard the campaign was described as very flat, a statement from somebody rather close to single-player development. So it sounds like the development on the game is a little shaky at the moment, although apparently Activision is really pouring everything they can into this game, so I'm sure it's kind of a hands-on, like all hands-on-deck experience for all developers, not just Infinity Ward. All developers are really pouring everything into this game to try and make it a success, which, I mean, even at this point, we still have, what, like at least another 5 to 6 months out from release, and we're probably still like a little bit less than a month out from when we're going to be getting their reveal. But I mean, campaign is flat. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Next question: is it similar to Modern Warfare 2019 with the slow/camp-friendly design? He says it caters to the sum of all playstyles. It's an inclusive experience. Okay, so I mean, that sounds a lot better than Modern Warfare 2019. I think a lot of this is probably due to the map design. The base maps in Modern Warfare were not very friendly to people who like to play very aggressively and like to rush. The DLC maps in Modern Warfare were a lot better, and it was something that you could really like play aggressively a lot more on, which I think is kind of what they're going for, especially because that's one thing we talked about in yesterday's video, was that Infinity Ward is really adopting more of a 3-lane model and kind of going more towards the DLC maps they had from Modern Warfare 2019 rather than the base maps they had for that game. So I don't know, sounds alright. You know, I'm not gonna get my hopes up too much though. But next question: is it too early to ask about the time to kill? I'm assuming it'll be fast because it's Infinity Ward, but any news about it would be great. Also, is Tac Sprint staying? He replies, Tac Sprint remains. Time to kill, too early to tell. So Tac Sprint, I don't know. I never really liked that, to be honest, but apparently it is returning, so it is what it is. Next question: how similar is the gameplay compared to 2019's Modern Warfare? Is the riot shield back? He says quite similar, and yes. So, I mean, it seemed obvious, though, they was going to play similar because it's a sequel. Obviously, a lot of people did like that game, so they're going to try and keep it familiar to those who like that game because it was the most popular Call of Duty game of all time. And the riot shield will be returning. That's pretty cool. Next question: placeable cameras in multiplayer, Black Ops 1 style? If you're referencing theater mode, yes. So obviously, like, no, this isn't what he was referring to. He's referring to like the actual tactical equipment you can use to have a camera. Apparently, no. You know, I mean, he kind of dodged that question. But theater mode will be in the game, which is pretty cool. I mean, we did not have that in Modern Warfare, but theater mode, hey, that'll be really cool. You know, kind of help out. Maybe like say like the trick shotting community would be really cool. Theater mode's always a good inclusion. I don't know why they just like some games just don't have it. It's kind of whack. They ask, hi, regarding sound design, is this something that is being considered for MW2 as compared to Modern Warfare 2019? Replied, I'm willing to bet the sound design team to take back a few awards this year. They're a phenomenal bunch. So sound design is apparently going to be like ramped up even more for this game. What type of changes/additions can we expect for Gunsmith? By comparison to Modern Warfare 2019, it's much more comprehensive. Okay, what does that mean? Don't really know. I mean, I think it's more so to, like, a lot more attachments, probably a lot more variabilities, where you can probably change a lot more stuff regarding like the statistics of a weapon. I would probably venture that means this stuff like the attachments. Like each attachment is probably going to have like 3 or 4 things that it changes on a weapon rather than just like 1 or 2. That each one is going to like change up a lot of different variables about the weapons. And I mean, I think that's a good thing. You know, if one attachment has like 4 positives but 4 negatives, it can really kind of change up how that weapon is really used and how it really plays, which I think would be very cool. Next one, how big will Tarkov-like game mode be? Should we expect mode-specific maps? Will my character be the same person every time, or they will go for a hunt showman contract-based character? He says it's dense, larger than Caldera? No. So, okay, so, I mean, not bigger than Caldera, so it's not like full Warzone size, but it will be big and apparently dense, so I don't know, it should be pretty fun. Next up, is there going to be any sort of customization on milsims like voices, gender, body type, outfits, etc.? He says not particularly. Customization comes more in the form of items of clothing, tattoos, gloves, and watches. It's actually pretty cool. The tattoos and gloves sound actually pretty cool. Just, you know, a little bit more customization you have with your operators and stuff. Detailed weapon inspections, or generic ones like Modern Warfare 2019. Standard inspection across all weapons, and unique inspections for specific weapons. That's pretty cool. So specific ones, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, like we had that have happened in, you know, several Treyarch games where like melee weapons will a lot of times get specific animations. So I mean, it kind of makes sense there. Regarding character customization, are we going to see the same system we currently have with pre-made skins, or something will change? Example, you can change different parts of your operator's outfit like gloves, masks, etc. He says there's a focus on personalizing your operator. That's pretty cool. Other than just like, you know, changing your operator and your skin, now it's more so, okay, you can change more things about your operator and really make that operator who you want it to be, which is pretty cool. How big is the graphical leap? Is the game being held back by older gen hardware? He says it's certainly a leap. Dodges the question about old gen hardware. I would probably, you know, expect though that the game will probably not look all that great on last gen. But I mean, Infinity Ward has really had a lot of hands-on time with these new next generation consoles. I mean, at this year they've been out for 2 years at this point, so they will have had years of experience with these new consoles. And I feel like, you know, they can really let these consoles shine and see what they can do with this year's game. Of course, I think the game will still in some ways be held back by last gen, but I mean, there will be like the biggest difference between last gen and current gen with this game. So I mean, it's kind of curious to see. There's also talk about what will happen with Warzone 2, if Warzone 2 will even make it to last gen, or if they will make it next gen only. Now that's a topic for another video. Another one, I want to know if Terminal will be in the game. He says, as part of a future season? Yep. In what sense is Treyarch helping out? Hopefully not too much. I want them focused on their own game. He says areas which are lacking, they're essentially acting as an outsourcing in case things get a little heated at Infinity Ward. Schedules move fast. I mean, it makes sense. It's probably like things that Infinity Ward themselves are like, you know what, we probably don't have the time to really focus on this area, so Treyarch, why don't you guys tackle this one specific area of the game? Meanwhile, our developers can focus on other things. So it's probably, like he says, like outsourcing. It's like, hey, why don't you guys focus on, say, map design or something like that, or weapon animations, or, you know, just specific areas of a game where it will probably take a decent amount of time, and it's something that Infinity Ward doesn't have a lot of time to spare, so they're probably passing on a lot of the stuff to these other studios. Like, hey, why don't you guys do this little niche part of the game, take care of that for us, and we can focus on, like, the big things of the game. So, alright. Next question. Will it be standalone or attached to Warzone 2? Warzone 2 intends to be separate, campaign, multiplayer, and SP, single player? I don't know what he's referencing there. Bundled as a part. So, I mean, it's basically going to be similar to what we had with Modern Warfare, but different. It sounds like, I mean, like he says that Warzone 2 intends to be separate. That is something developers actually talked about. They talked about the challenges of Warzone because it was so heavily integrated within Modern Warfare, that Warzone 2 should be its own separate download and separate game, really, when it releases, because it won't release at the same time as Modern Warfare 2. It will release sometime later, possibly next year. Next question. Know any of the weapons that will be added to the game, and any word on the whole movement issue? He says facets of movement aren't fixed. They're interchangeable every week. It's much more a matter to the availability of binds. They are still trying to find that balance. Can we expect muddy terrains in multiplayer? Is Soap redesigned from Soap from Modern Warfare 2019? Not exactly redesigned, just refined. Okay, cool, I guess that works. How long is the campaign? Longer than Cold War? He says standard length. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Call of Duty campaigns have never been really all that long, but standard length, that's whatever, you know, if that's like maybe 4 or 5 hours, something like that, especially if you're really trying to play through it fast. But I mean, that's fine so long as it has a compelling story. You know, I don't think you need a game that lasts you for 40 hours, you know, especially a single player game like Call of Duty. It's something you just hop in, you play, and then you go and you play multiplayer. It's never been really like, hey, like, we really have to play this campaign and it's going to take you forever because it's so hard or it's so long or whatever. It's like, I don't know. I mean, that's what she said, but alright, next question. With the spawn system and the maps being unanimously deemed as the worst part of Modern Warfare 2019 experience, and one of the main reasons a portion of the community didn't stick to the game, are there any active efforts to improve both spawns and map design, especially spawns? He says maps have seen some scrutiny since Modern Warfare 2019, whilst retaining certain aspects such as parkour. Didn't say anything about spawns in there though, although that's probably something that will be developed closer to launch, probably as soon as we get a beta, and more testing into the game is needed for the spawns. That's something that, you know, you need a lot of data for the spawns. Any talk about zombies, we probably aren't getting that, but at least there have been any talks about it. He says there are assets which allude to that, possibly for Halloween. Is there any talk about improving communication with the community? Like Infinity Ward was terrible at relaying information / patch notes during Modern Warfare 2019. Seeing how Vanguard is pretty open with everything, I hope that attitude goes to Infinity Ward. Stephanie Snowden, newly assigned as Infinity Ward's Director of Communications, former position, Director of Broadcast Talent at Activision for Esports. Okay, I mean, that was actually a really big issue for a while there. I mean, like, Infinity Ward essentially went dead silent after Modern Warfare came out. And I mean, I gotta be honest, it was like really obnoxious that, like, the community manager, she refused to talk to the community for months, and it wasn't really until even Warzone came out that Infinity Ward really started interacting with the community again. They're like, oh hey, Warzone's out and the community loves it? Okay, now we're gonna start interacting with the community again. Like, if you guys remember back, you might not actually remember, but like back, I still remember that. Even in November and December, the community was like, dude, we have some serious problems with this game. And the developers refused to acknowledge anything across Twitter, across Reddit, anywhere, and they would even block people who even like posted or even asked or said any of the slightest bit of criticism. They'd instantly block them. So yeah, it's something that we should really hope to avoid this year. But next up, how early should we see the Modern Warfare 2's first reveal trailer or gameplay, and is this an October release? He says you'll likely start seeing leaked footage by April, unfortunately, an official reveal for May. Okay, this is obviously dated, so there has not been leaked footage, except what we're going to be talking about a little bit later on in the video. So that leaked footage is barely out, and then the reveal is not scheduled for May at this point, it is scheduled for June. He says, can you please tell about the new story info and character, please? Spoilers aren't cool. I'll reserve any word on campaign details until much further down the line. Cool. I mean, that is awesome. Like he says, spoilers aren't cool. I like that. Is there still going to be legal issues with the weapon models? Activision are particularly in a great place legally at the moment. I doubt they'd want to risk adding to that pile. Modern Warfare 2 Classic multiplayer back? Yes or no? It is really its own thing. They aren't trying to emulate other Call of Duties. Okay, cool, but it sounds like, I mean, it's going to be borrowing a lot of stuff and really playing off the same feel as Modern Warfare 2019. What can we expect from the morality system of the campaign? What kind of choices or events can take place? System exists, though it won't largely affect the story. Okay, that's kind of to be expected. We're probably not going to be going like a Black Ops 2 route where the story will actually change and you'll have different endings and stuff, but it's probably going to be the same thing as like Modern Warfare 2019, where you can do some things that are kind of morally objectionable. But yeah, oh well. He says, a while back you brought up how reactive the AI was, and seeing how Warzone today seems to be reusing old MWII AI for Season 2 next week, has anything changed since then? Might they scale down AI behavior outside the campaign and or the Tarkov mode? He says AI will be upscaled with the introduction of Warzone 2. Ooh, interesting. That also kind of leads us to believe that Warzone 2 will be next-gen only, is why, you know, like they're going to be taking advantage of upgraded AI and probably the power of these new consoles. It's probably something they couldn't do with these old-gen consoles. Will the game actually have some color and contrast? He says, yes, but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a loaded question because, I mean, like, Modern Warfare 2019 was pretty bland. I mean, like, everybody gives the Black Ops series crap for being, like, too cartoonish and too much like a video game, but it's like, dude, at least the game has color. Not everything needs to be war-torn and just, like, destroyed and muted. Like, you can actually have some color in your game. It's something I've always had a beef with Infinity Ward's games for, like, the past 10 years, is that, for whatever reason, Infinity Ward just loves to have everything be grays and browns, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, dude, you can have some colorful maps. Relax. Like, it's not that serious, dude. But, alright, next question. Here we go. Same characters from Modern Warfare 2019 in the campaign or new ones? Thank you. Some new blood, some old. How much environmental variety is there, and has foliage been improved in preparation for the new setting? Materials, textures, and foliage have since improved tenfold. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what kind of graphical differences they have inside this game. Did the game engine develop from Modern Warfare 2019? Yep, Infinity Ward Poland is an absolute magicians. And this is something we'll cover in another video, specifically talking about the engine. But apparently the engine, so it's not a new engine, it's just like, once again, heavily evolved. Because, I mean, even Modern Warfare's engine is not technically a new engine. But, I mean, you can tell the difference between Modern Warfare 2019 and, say, Ghosts. It's still based on the same general technology, but you can tell that there's a huge difference there. So apparently that's kind of what we're going to be getting with this new game. When will we expect the release? Are we looking at October or September? I know it's been talked that we're going to be getting it early due to Vanguard's low sales. Just wondering. It says depending on market conditions. Okay, cool. Are we going to get Ground War again, just like in Modern Warfare 2019? We already answered this question yesterday. He says, yep. We'll be able to make our own custom campaign loadouts. He says, kinda. Ooh, what does that mean, kinda? Maybe just like you get a specific amount of stuff in the campaign. You can either choose one of these like 3 weapons or something, probably like that. So it's like you can kind of make your custom loadout, but you also don't have like a fully customizable thing. That's at least my guess for that. Does the game also feel like Insurgency? He says no. And there we go. That is his questions and answered for it. So here we go. Now let's actually talk about this gameplay. It's about time. So first off, before we actually talk about specific gameplay, Ralph shared a couple images on Twitter of what the game is supposed to look like. I mean, this is something we had with like Black Ops Cold War, which I find very interesting, is people, rather than sharing leaked screenshots, which will get DMCA'd, people make recreations of it and make their own sketches of it. That way Activision cannot DMCA it because it's not actual footage from the game. It's somebody's recreation of it, which they have no legal right to take down. So this is the image of it, which, I mean, it's kind of cool, right? It's somebody with what looks like an M4 or whatever, but yeah, I mean, kind of cool. It gives us a little bit of an idea of it, but I mean, it looks the same. The FOV looks kind of high. And then he also did a version 2.0. Alright. Yeah, and then he also did a Modern Warfare 2 sketch final. This drawing most resembles the in-game screenshot, which, I mean, you can kind of tell by it. It looks a little blurry, but I mean, look at that. Like, you can see there's like almost like a barn or something over there on the right, kind of some like wheat or some like kind of dead grass or something like that. But yeah, I mean, supposedly that's what the game looks like. It doesn't tell us a whole lot, but I mean, it looks like a Call of Duty game, looks like a first-person shooter. So, all right, here we go, guys. Now let's actually talk about the gameplay. So gameplay has leaked, and people have played the game, and people have seen gameplay of it. And according to Doug Sensor Martin, he is a pro player, former pro player. He's kind of in a weird spot right now, right? But his sources, he said this on stream, he says that Modern Warfare 2 is not a great game. So I'll play this clip for you guys right here, and you can see for yourself.
How we feeling, man? How we feeling about MW2? So from my sources, the game's shit. That's my sources. I'm not leaking my sources, but I heard the game is shit. And it's from sources I trust, so I'm cautiously optimistic, because you guys know I'm always optimistic about the new COD. I'm cautiously optimistic this year.
So he is hearing that the game is not great, but people have like really kind of criticized him for this. People are like, oh no, it's because, you know, you're a pro player or whatever, and you know, all this stuff, like you hated Modern Warfare 2019, and so, you know, it probably plays just like that game, and if it's gonna play like that game, it's gonna be great. So it's kind of hard to tell where people are on this, because I mean, obviously some people have biases. Some people did not like Modern Warfare 2019, and so if they played this new game and it plays similar to that old one, they're gonna be like, oh, it's a bad game. But then, you know, like I said, it's hard to tell, because some people like that style, some people don't. So I mean, it's not like an objective, like it's a fact, it's just somebody's opinion. But it is interesting nonetheless. So there, I have also heard a word going around that there is some leaked screenshots and some gameplay going around in the community. Now, I'm not able to share any of that here on YouTube or even like link to it, but I would expect that within the next couple of weeks we're going to be getting more actual gameplay of it that'll be leaked. And if we do have more gameplay and we can actually like really talk about it, I'll be able to talk about it, and potentially, you know, we can do stuff like these sketches and stuff and recreations of it, but we still won't be able to show you guys the leaked gameplay. So that's just kind of how it is. But that's it, guys. A lot of stuff here, lots of news, leaks, and rumors and stuff here with that Q&A. A lot of good stuff. Learned a lot about the game, as well as, I mean, supposedly the game's not that great, but then again, the game is still like 5-6 months away from launch. And of course, like, every game can change before launch. I mean, case in point, Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was supposed to be an entirely different game, like almost like a year before launch. It was a completely different game, and it was an advanced movement game. As we all know, upon release, it was a boots on the ground game. So games can change over time and essentially become like totally different things. But you know, where people are saying, hey, it's a bad game right now, I would expect, I mean, if a lot of people are saying it's bad, I mean, Infinity Ward would probably obviously change that before launch. I mean, if everybody's saying it's bad, they're not going to be like, oh, no, we'll just ship it anyways. They're going to obviously take that feedback and do what they can to make the game the most fun for everybody and the most enjoyable experience. So there you go, guys. That is it. That was a long video. Lots of questions, lots of leaks, rumors, everything. Talk about gameplay in here. What are you guys' thoughts on all this in the comments down below? We'll be back with more. I guarantee you we'll have videos for the rest of the week, even stuff into next week. So there's so many leaks, so much talk about this game, and the community is really hyped about it. So if you guys are too, let me know by dropping a comment down below, as well as if you guys stuck around here towards the end of the video. Thank you guys all so much. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.